Hello, everybody, and welcome to TCG 353. We're playing Roger today. Roger in OP15 has a space in the meta, given the typical Roger stuff. Making your leader 7k and 9k is very powerful always. It's just if you can hit your curve quickly, you can get your ramp online and you don't take too much damage in between. Courser, Purple Enel, Lucy, Nami, their problems, and decks like yellow decks, for example, can really take into muddy waters towards the end of the game. Uh, with the Robins, you're not really able to remove those without removing some of your own life. Um, you can find ways around these matchups. This new list is EBO4 updated. I was able to pull this off One Piece top decks, and I've made my own little variations here and there for cards that I think are interesting to use, and also cards that I think are pretty strong that don't see much use. So we'll just run through the deck real quickly. We got our 2K Ace Sabo and Luffy, which also gives one down to your leader, and minus 3K, which is just a very good universal red 2K. We got our Uta Blocker, which costs 2 when you have a character of 10,000, which you more than likely will. As Roger, you play a lot of boss monsters. Zoro is a huge addition to this deck. Makes your leader 7k on curve if that's what you're looking for, and it also gives character rush, which is a very good late game option to clear a board. Shanks is always strong, strong against Swarm. It's also very good when it's paired with later stage promo Rogers to get your leader up to 9k, and there's a universal 1k minus on the opponent's field. It's just hard to swing into. Opponents have to make decisions, and when you make your opponent make decisions, it usually means that they're in an awkward position. Goldie Roger, uh, classic, so useful. A lot of decks in this game and in this meta just want to block you out. Even the yellow decks with Borsalinos, for example, Lucy with Sabo, a lot of options for it. And this is one of the decks within One Piece TCG that can actually search for this, so you can find it, which is very useful as well. You got your searcher, you got a 2k ramp, another ramp option, Douglas Bullet. Very useful 2k Usahachi. It's nice to have in hand at the end of the game to rest blocker. Another ramp option in Bonkley allows you to double ramp in certain instances. Say you are on 6 Don, 1 Don attached to your leader. You play a Bonkley, you ramp 2 Don, and you have 2 Don left to either play a buggy or you can play the longest named event in all of One Piece. Really cool options from Bonkley, and also it's a bit of a monster when it comes to late game. Of course, there's cards now within OP15 that can deal with it without it getting a swing. So there is a bit of a decision to be made on when you swing and when you don't swing. You can't just hold on to your Bonkley until it becomes huge, like in previous sets. To me, Scopper Gaban is one of the strongest cards in this deck for 1 year curve and 2 for sorting and filtering out your hand. Oftentimes I'll play out 2 Scopper Gabans just to get the draw 2 trash one because the deck is kind of bricky and you want your pieces in place for the late game because you're pushing late game to stay up high in power and just build this monstrous board. So having this is very strong, 1k, 7k swing, it's very useful. We're running one of Silver's really, it comes up, but cost of 5 or less resting in this meta where it was useful for, say, Ace. When Ace was big in the meta, you could freeze the Marco and deny them the draw 2 off that KO. See, nowadays, you'd want to rest a cost 6 because it is an L blocker, or cost 7 even because of Sabo. Cost 5, you can be aggressive into ordinary swings, say Cavendish. So it is a very good option, and it's still a rush option. So we keep it in the deck, but we don't need more than one. Promo Roger is big for us. Consistently stay at 9k, and it combos very nicely here into my favorite card in this deck. Yeah, but just generally in One Piece, I think this is such a cool and interesting card. I hope they make support around this card later on because and the alt art looks stunning, and the effect is really cool that you can make like a native Roger Pirates deck. So this is what we have. Your leader's effect and effects of your characters without a type, including Roger Pirates, are negated. Okay, so there's a sort of catch 22 here. If you play this out, your Shanks isn't doing too hot, and neither is your Bon Clay, and you're not dropping down your Usuhashi, and you're not getting the rest. So you have to, bear that in mind when you're playing it. But what the brilliant loop is your Goldie Roger here into your A cost Goldie Roger and back into this. The reason for that is the Don minus 3, which is up to one of your leader gains 2000 power. So we become a 9k leader until the end of your opponent's next phase standard. Then give all of your opponent's characters minus 2k. So for one turn, it's doubly strong with the Shanks, which is very very useful. Shanks is like a smaller version of this, but it's just Shanks has a rush, so it's more powerful on curve. That's why we run three of them. With this here, it's a great card and it's very useful. Divine Departure. It's useful for the you may rest 5-year dons. You've probably seen that in the Enel decks getting a lot of use. But for us here, it's just great counter to have because we run so many bricks. It's handy to be able to trash. 4 ramp and 3k to leader event, standard stuff. We need a lot of ramp. And this is a little tech that I'm running here now to see how it works into it now. So we have 3k leader counter, which is great. It's the same as here. I think more events, more counter is good. We also have this here. You may rest 3 of your Don cards. If you have a given Don card, which we more than likely will, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 base power or less, and up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 base power or less. So I'm putting this into the deck for Enel. Exclusively for Enel. There is a world where you could play this and take out 2 Rebeccas in a Lucy. And there's also ways you could place Ace Sabo and Luffy down, reduce 3k, and maybe take out a Cavendish and a Rebecca. There's options with it, but for me mostly it's for this and that, because once they start putting on a lot of swings, it gets a bit stressful, especially in the early game. Like we do want a bit of a healthy start because once we got big power, we'll be taking fewer and fewer hits. That is the deck profile. I think it works in OP15. I really like the addition of this, but we'll find out in the games whether it's absolutely necessary for the deck. I believe it is. I believe it is because I'm coping hard. Let's run into some games here now, and we'll see how Roger does OP15. All right, sweet. Speak to the devil. We got a blue yellow Nami. We are gonna go second here. Let's see what we got. Really nice ramp options. So we're gonna keep. We'll be able to get to 10 down quick. We don't have boss monsters, unfortunately. We don't have a search, but we're going to count on the Scopper command to draw them. Okay, so we will enter. Just getting swung in on, that's fine. It's a good thing that they didn't have cards either. Alright, so 3 down, we're just going to play out. I'd rather play with the event than the 2k, to be honest. So we'll swing 7. Good swing against Nami, at the very least. If he gives us 2 cards, it's up to him. Okay. Must be a Thriller Barrack set then if he's trying to trash this Kiku so early. Game 1 rested down, thank you very much. And enter. Okay. 5 down, 7 down next turn. So we have the option to go either double ramp or go scopper. So let's consider both. Give him 2k. Okay, we're going to double ramp here now because the Shanks is going to be very valuable and we want to get there fast. So yeah, we could probably swing 8 actually. No, that's a lie. You can swing 7 again. Another solid swing. So what I'd be thinking against Nami is try to rush them down, so that they can't develop this big hand that they like to get. The reason for that, in my opinion, is the bigger their hand, the more likely that they have a Borsa combo coming to your face, and that's just gonna hurt. Trash one. And I'll take this. And this is when it gets fun now. I can swing an AK, which is nice. So let's start off with that. I mean, they're both AKs, so we're happy with that. So give me 2 cards, please. Okay, cool. Let's search here. Yep, we'll take our big boy. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is a bit tricky to play it out willy-nilly. 6. Swing big again. That's a big, nice swing now. Oh, it is. And look, we have an option now whether we want to commit here to our Goldie Roger or whether we want to start developing our shanks. Now, me, I want to commit. So I'm going to trash this. Game on rest of time, doesn't matter really. But we got to draw 2 trash 1. So I'd rather hand a bit more. We'll take 5 and 2 long play, which is fine. And overall, I think we're looking alright. So we'll see what Nami does here now. I'd imagine it's another Robin. Has a Boris in trash, so it could be a play like that. 7-1 up. Yeah, okay, you can't set up his life anyway, so that's good for us. And we're 7k, which is pretty sweet. Lots of 2ks, it's gonna be this one. And we'll take the Robin swing. Oh. 6 down left. It's looking good for us. It's looking good for us, yeah. Nice. Okay, well, we have 2ks on board, so that's what we're going to give him. I'll take a 9. Now, remember when I said really wasn't so useful because Marcos doesn't come up? You can forget that. We'll start off 7. I'm not swinging board because everything's getting minused. So his board is going to be, it's going to have very little impact now. Select your to turn. Should go friendly target. Look at that. And now we're swinging 9k. If you can block out of it, that's cool. He will draw a bunch, in all fairness. But we're in a nice spot. The thing as well with this Roger, so for example, this Uda doesn't work as it would like to anymore. So it's now a 2k in my hand. Now that I think about it, true for this Ace and Sabo and Luffy as well. But I mean, I want this as a 2k. I don't have power removal really in this deck other than the one tech that I put in. That's not all too relevant anymore. Yeah, so I would like to take a hit. To be honest, I would like to take a hit because I want to draw, but I can also search here, hope for Promo Roger, put Promo Roger down, go back up to 9k, and maybe take out some board. No, we won't take out board, we'll just keep swinging. 8. I mean, he surely he has 1 and 1. Yeah, I'll let this go. Oh well. Trash is that. Wow, what a top deck. What a top deck. Okay, I think I'll swing into this kid because it's going to be tough for me to block out of anything if he just goes full whack into that. So we're swinging 13 at the kid. In my hand now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 counter. I'll go up to 9k as well. So I have 20. I have enough to counter out of all his, like a bunch of kid swings, or full kid. But it's just this. Trying to black out of this afterwards is going to be the hardest part. And 9k into life. Oh, no way. That was natural. Oh, that is rough. That is rough. It's not looking too good for us now. He could just easily just swing 19 and be safe for the next turn also, because he has a blocker 2 life, 5-3 swings. Nami's a very oppressive deck in this meta. What could I have to change this? I could have the Rayleigh, yeah, the Rayleigh could come up. Rayleigh would rest and I'd be able to swing. Yeah, I'd be able to swing 9, 9, 10, 13. Alright, 3k and 1k. This guy's doing it in a funky old way. 2 and a 4 first, I think. 5, 14. Yeah, we can block out of that as well. It's a blocker. Wow. Yeah, it's not looking good for us. It's not looking good. Truth be told. Oh. Oh my. Forgot I had this card in my deck. Oh my god. Have you ever seen a better top deck in your life? Alright. Wow. Let's go. Alright. Genie Mac. I don't know what to say about that other than let's go. Alright, yeah, do what you want, do what you want. Pretty sure I won. Ah, no. Very close though. Very close. Jeez, that was close, yeah. Shame. A good game. Yeah, good game to the opponent. Anything different? No, I think that did a lot for us. Yeah, maybe having -1k would have been more useful. What I'm saying is maybe the shanks would have been better, but then the +2 would have saved us for a whole round. Yeah, you can just have the game, buddy. Just joking. We go down, swinging. Okay, drank my coffee in a strange way there, and lost my game. Very close though. Hope you like that one. Let's go on to the next. Right, we're going up against Enel here. We got 1 search, 1 ramp, or 3 ramp as well. And we're going first. So we need to find a Douglas bullet if we want to ramp effectively. Bonk play, we can't search bonk it. Yeah, I'm going to keep. Because I like having the search in hand. Yeah. Because I want to ramp. It would obviously be nice to have the option of having something big, but I want to ramp as best I can. Well, there you go. I had it anyway. Okay, 6 game to lead. So Enel chose to go second. Probably just gearing up to a Sky Island, if I'm thinking right. Enel is one of these matchups. I watched a bunch of YouTube on him, especially for his for this OP15 meta, to see what he works as. Oh, I could double ramp if I just take this. So I'm gonna. This, you know what? This hand is kind of cracked. Really good. And then we're 10 down next turn. With drawn discard, like it would be nice if we could pull into a promo Roger here. That'd be really good. Because we won't be taking swings at all really. Okay. That's rough. 2 and a 1. Sad, but look, we have to get of it. I'm getting very lucky with these draws, aren't I? There's swing 6 and swing 10. Oh, that was my bad. I shouldn't have swung it. Shouldn't have swung with Barnclay. This is usually where I falter now when I'm playing against Enel, that I just keep swinging, and I know I should not swing there, but I'm gonna, and I don't really know why. Yeah, I don't fully know. There's ways to play against Enel, and I'm just not wise to them yet. So I'll have that, no problem. He heals one, and that's that. That's what he did. Okay, maybe I'll just swap the board then. Do I have any bricks? Yeah, I can give it to you. So you're rested Dawn. And I can swing 7. See if he takes it. Just curious, really. And then play out himself here against the rested Dawn. Be nice just to flood it. To flood the board. We're going to take 7 raw to the face. Was that Rygo? Oh, play around Rygo. Yellow decks, man. They're good decks, no doubt. 2-2. I will use my Barnclay for counter. Here. He could swing 7 and 8. If he swings 8, I'll let. If he swings. No, Merca. And this is when Enel starts playing his game, really. And I think my game is more towards the long end of it. So I have options. Just poke here. If I swing a scopper here, I will no doubt get him to take, and then I can swing one more, but he'll block. So I mean, there's no point. Let's just sack our Douglas Bullet. That's why we brought our 2 in 1 turn. Because we do want to keep our board healthy enough for that final move. We're controlling big swings. Okay, the Enel comes out. Swings 12, we take. We pull. Alright, let's look at our hand here now. 2, 4, 6, 6, 9, 69. And 10 drop is pretty good here as well. So let's do that. Swings. Okay. 7, 7, 10, 12. 7 takes, 7. No, I'm going to try and get the counter of his hand by swinging into board. No, he gets healed with a Borsa. Oh, yellow has so many different moves that they can make. I'm pretty sure that I can survive here. And he can't Rygo if I don't swing, so I'm just going to enter. He could Borsa, which would be tough. That would be tough. I mean, if I take this, I'll take a 16. And I cannot block it. So I'm blocking this. And I know what you're thinking. Why not 2-2Ks? I really want this Usahachi in hand. In case he does play out Borsa next turn. Because, I mean, I think if this game goes on longer, he's going to be able to drain me out. And I have a decent enough board now, and I've built it in such a way that I want to keep that. This is the idea behind the game plan here. I'll just spread out my dons afterwards, and wow, nice. Okay. Okay. Next turn we go for it. If we freeze this, he has one blocker and he's 7k. 7k is the trick, alright. No, we have to trash. I'm gonna stay up with one. Alright, check this out. Oh no, what happened? I had to have a given down. I just threw it again. Whoa, I just threw. Okay, we'll move. Tree here. We can block that. Yeah, true hard there. A tongue in cheek. Not very cool. 3-6. Yeah, I can't counter this. So I have to. Because 21 is too much. That sure was bad. That was not good. If I'd gotten rid of this, he could have blocked out with Luffy once. I would have swung 7. I would have got this, yeah. Then he would have had a nice amount. A tricky situation here now. Oh, because he minus that away. Wow. He could just remove Borden. But yeah. Nice knowing you, buddy. Yeah, he played around my Roger pretty well also. Okay, we'll go down swinging at the very least. 12, 2k. 9, 7. Look, if you were watching this hoping to understand how to play Enel or how to beat Enel, I hope you weren't. And look, this is just rude now, I think. Come on, man. Finish the game. that was me giving up. It's not good. It's not a good thing to do, especially now when I'm live on YouTube. But we do what we must, and that wasn't a great play. Um, what did they say? Card players don't read their cards. That was just silliness there. I think the game would have changed if I was able to hit that divine departure. Give up the one of your opponent's cards if you have any given down cards. Oh, broken hearted. Let that be a lesson. I would have removed his first Sky Island and now. For sure, for sure. He could have blocked out a one, but I mean, he would have countered out all of his hand if he did want to keep it, and I don't even think it would have been that worth it for him. Um, and that being the case, then we could have not exactly starved Enel, but we wouldn't have had to swing into his life for one turn. We could have got that off the board, and we also would have had two events up. So he was kind of choosing, okay, I kind of have to go for game here. Also, we could have taken a hit and started swinging with a Roger earlier, but I mean, who's to know we would have top deck a Roger. This Roger is coming so clutch for us. These games is coming really, really clutch. Alright, let's go back into the deck and talk about it a little bit. All in all, I think the play style. Let me pull this up first. I think the play style of Roger is really fun. Has been since it was dropped in OP13. It still is now because it's fast. That Enel game, for example, you do know when you're out of gas, and it is an all gas no breaks deck. You're ramping up to your big boys, and once you get them on the field, then you understand. Okay, I'm in a good spot here. I'll probably win. I'm not in a good spot. I'll probably lose. You can turn it around in certain instances, like you saw the first game with that goalie Roger. That was very close. That was just down to the opponent having enough counter at the right time, which is a Nami thing, and another great deck. So it's a lot of fun, and it can be aggressive, and you can finish your games quick. The Enel game, I think he could have finished it much earlier, but I suppose he was just doing Enel things in that, just controlling the board and being bigger and making sure, which is fair. Look, that's one playing style, especially for that deck, which is cool. Yellow's a difficult color to come up against, and I think it's difficult for a deck like Roger because it can prolong our aggression, and if it allows itself to get big bodies on the field, while developing blockers, we can't exactly clear things. We can't exactly clear things efficiently because he can block the Borson and heal a life, or he can put down a Zoro, heal a life, and especially with an L, healing all over. What I would say is play a Roger if you want, like, if you want a fresh change from what is happening currently in OP15, which is kind of slower games, more control focus, whereas Roger is in control. It's just a very tall aggro deck. Really enjoyable. You've seen the tech here with having this 10 cost in. Can work sometimes, and other times it doesn't. Like if you are playing this, then you want to be looping these two. That's the dream sequence, or even this here to bring it out afterwards to rest the 5 cost. It is the dream sequence, especially if you bring this out, then things are minus 2k, so you can probably clear off bodies. The Shanks has a really good spot in this deck just for consistency's sake, so I do like the 3 copies. Maybe we think about different 2ks to use, since we'd use this more and more, but I think 2 of means that you can have a bit of flexibility in the 2ks that you use as well. That's most of it. We didn't see this card come up today, which is a shame, but also we didn't play Purple Enel. But it would have been great in the Enel matchup. It would have allowed us to take out 2 blockers for 4 down, which is brilliant. A lot of weenie blockers coming up. Even a Triller Bark deck is has sort of small characters sometimes. Does oftentimes play that Victorious Injury as a blocker. So all in all, I hope you enjoyed it. I like playing this deck. It's a shame we didn't get our wins today. The first game was much closer. The second game, yeah, maybe I'll have to play Enel to learn the Enel matchup a bit better. Shame about it. Sorry about the misplay. What can you do? Mistakes were made. Lessons were learned. Hope you learned something about the deck. Hope you like the deck. I'll include the deck list in the profile or in the description below. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you do like it. I'm going to be uploading a lot coming up over the next few weeks. Maybe once a day. I'll try and go for twice a day as well, and it's all OP15 relevant decks. So if you like that sort of stuff, uh, like and subscribe and let me know what you think. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good one.